find myself utterly captivated by the complexities of Henry VIII's private affairs. Well, you see, we're about to embark on a journey through the labyrinth of one of history's most notorious monarchs. Quite frankly, Henry's personal life was an intricate web of love, lust, and power that shaped not just his reign, but the very course of English history. Now listen closely. Henry Tudor, born on the 28th of June 1491, was never meant to be king. As the second son of Henry VII, he was raised in the shadow of his elder brother, Arthur. But fate, as it often does, had other plans. With Arthur's untimely death in 1502, young Henry suddenly found himself heir to the throne. It's rather fascinating, isn't it? This twist of destiny shaped not only Henry's future, but the future of England itself. Growing up, Henry was the very picture of a Renaissance prince, tall, athletic, and with a keen intellect. Well, you see, Henry wasn't just a pretty face with a crown. Oh no, he was a true Renaissance man. Fluent in Latin, French and Spanish, he was as comfortable debating theology as he was on the jousting field. His love for music was legendary. Did you know he composed his own songs? Pastime with Good Company, that was one of his, but it wasn't all books and lutes. Henry was an avid sportsman, hunting, hawking, tennis. He excelled at them all. It's quite ironic, really, considering his later physical decline. Now, let's talk about Catherine of Aragon, shall we? Henry's first wife, and arguably the one who shaped his reign the most. Married to Henry in 1509, she was actually his brother's widow. Quite scandalous, really, but Henry was determined to have her. And who could blame him? Catherine was beautiful, educated, and came with a hefty Spanish dowry. For nearly 2 decades, theirs was a partnership that seemed blessed by God. Catherine was popular, intelligent, and served as regent while Henry was away at war. But, well, you see, there was one crucial thing she couldn't provide: a male heir, and that, my friends, was the beginning of the end for poor Catherine. Quite frankly, Henry's obsession with having a male heir was the driving force behind much of his personal life. It wasn't just about ensuring the Tudor dynasty, oh no. For Henry, it was a matter of divine right. He truly believed that his lack of a son was God's punishment for marrying his brother's widow. This great matter, as it came to be known, consumed Henry. He scoured the Bible, consulted theologians, and eventually, well, he took matters into his own hands. The result, the break with Rome, the establishment of the Church of England, and a series of marriages that would scandalize Europe. Now, listen closely, for we're about to unravel one of the most captivating chapters of Henry's personal life, his relationship with Anne Boleyn. Anne wasn't just another mistress, oh no, she was a force of nature, a woman who refused to be merely a royal plaything. Her wit, her charm, her ambition, they all captivated Henry in a way no woman had before, but their love was as tragic as it was passionate. After years of struggle to marry her, Henry's infatuation turned to resentment when Anne too failed to provide a male heir. The fall of Anne Boleyn was as swift as her rise. From queen to prisoner, from the most powerful woman in England to a headless corpse in the Tower. Well, you see, Jane Seymour was everything Anne Boleyn wasn't: quiet, demure, and crucially fertile. Henry married her mere days after Anne's execution, a fact that speaks volumes about his state of mind. Jane gave Henry what he had longed for, a son, the future Edward VI, but the joy was short-lived. Jane died shortly after childbirth, and Henry was genuinely devastated. It's quite telling that he chose to be buried next to Jane, isn't it? She was the only one of his wives to give him a son who lived past infancy, and perhaps the only one he truly mourned. It's rather fascinating how this quietest of Henry's queens had such a profound impact on him. Quite frankly, Henry's last 3 marriages were more about politics and personal comfort than love or passion. Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, Catherine Parr, each served a purpose in Henry's grand scheme. Anne was a political alliance that went wrong, Catherine Howard a young distraction for an aging king, and Catherine Parr a nurse and companion in his final years. It's rather fascinating, isn't it, how these women navigated the dangerous waters of Henry's affections. Anne cleverly survived her divorce. Catherine Howard wasn't so fortunate, losing her head for alleged infidelity. And Catherine Parr managed to outlive the mercurial monarch. Each of these marriages tells us something about Henry: his political acumen, his vanity, his cruelty, and in the end, his need for companionship. Now listen closely. To understand Henry, we must understand his passions. In his youth, he was the epitome of the chivalric king. Jousting, hunting, dancing. He wrote poetry, composed music, and was an accomplished musician. But as he aged and his health declined, his interests turned more cerebral. Henry fancied himself a theologian, engaging in religious debates and writing treatises. His personal library was extensive, filled with works on law, theology, and history. It's quite ironic, really, that this man who broke with Rome over a personal matter would style himself as a great religious thinker. But that was Henry, always seeing himself at the center of every narrative, be it love, war, or faith. Well, you see, Henry's personal life wasn't just a series of scandals. It was the driving force behind some of the most significant changes in English history. His marriages led to the break with Rome. His desire for a son shaped the Tudor succession, and his personal whims often became the law of the land. Quite frankly, few monarchs have left such an indelible mark on history through their private affairs. And so we come to the end of our journey through the personal life of Henry VIII, a man of appetites for food, for women, for power, a king whose private desires shaped a nation. It's rather fascinating, isn't it, how the heart of one man could have such far-reaching consequences. Henry VIII, tyrant, lover, theologian, king, a bundle of contradictions wrapped in ermine and crown, whose personal life continues to captivate us even centuries after his death.